Hello everyone, welcome back to Oni-chan. Today, we will watch the anime One Punch Man. This series has probably become too famous and familiar to many of you. In a world where many monsters exist, they constantly threaten human life. To protect humanity, there have been heroes appear and fight against those monsters. In a city right now, some very dangerous monster has appeared. His name is Vaccine Man. He continuously destroys the city and has taken down many heroes. While he was about to capture a young girl, suddenly, the hero Saitama appeared and rescued her. With an expression devoid of emotion, he looked down on Vaccine Man with disdain. He made Vaccine Man furious, ready to beat him, but it ended with just one punch, which left Saitama frustrated and screaming. Why is it just one punch? 3 years ago, Saitama was just an unemployed young man, with no purpose in life. After failing a job interview, he encountered a crab-like creature in his underwear, attacking a young boy. He stepped in to rescue the boy, but Crablante kept attacking. In the end, Saitama managed to defeat the crab in his underwear. This incident awakened his determination to become a hero. So, he embarked on a rigorous training regimen to gain superhuman strength, to the point where not a single strand of hair remained on his head. When he was shopping at the supermarket, suddenly, the city was once again under attack by a giant, together with his older brother, a scientist, because he wanted to be king of the world. So, he immediately created a potion that could transform his little brother into a giant, and started destroying the city, making everyone terrified. Suddenly, Saitama appeared, which surprised him, and he immediately ordered his younger brother to attack Saitama. But the giant turned out to be a fool, so he accidentally attacked his own brother. This made him furious, and he kept attacking Saitama, thinking that he had defeated him. Unexpectedly, Saitama gave him one punch, to help him reunite with his older brother. Although Saitama has become very strong now, but he felt sad because he couldn't find the joy in fighting anymore. In the morning, when Saitama had just woken up, suddenly, he was attacked again, which took him by surprise. They said, "We are the people beneath the earth, and we will take over this world." When he attacked Saitama, he was swiftly defeated. So, the whole bunch kept coming at him relentlessly, thinking they had taken him down. But to their surprise, Saitama kept getting back up, and continuously defeat each one of them. Suddenly, at this moment, Saitama felt very happy, because he had once again found the joy of battle within himself. When the big boss appeared, the alarm clock rang again, making Saitama realize, it turns out it's just a dream. At that moment, at a nearby farm, there was a robot named Genos hunting down a monster. At this time, on the TV, there was news about a mosquito epidemic wreaking havoc in City Z. While Saitama was feeling very annoyed, because he had folded his opponent, inside the city at that time, the mosquito swarm was also feeding on blood everywhere, and the mosquito horde was being controlled by Mosquito Girl, a demon-level monster. Suddenly, Genos appeared and attacked her, burning up the entire mosquito swarm. Both of them fought at an incredible speed. But she realized that Genos was a formidable opponent, so, she summoned all the mosquitoes in the city. Genos realized that she wanted to enhance her own power. When Genos was about to hinder her, Saitama rushed over with a mosquito repellent spray, leaving Genos puzzled about who this crazy person was. Unexpectedly, Mosquito Girl quickly commanded the swarm of mosquitoes to attack both of them. However, Genos swiftly incinerated the entire swarm of mosquitoes. At this point, Genos was very confident in his attack, believing that Mosquito Girl wouldn't survive. Unexpectedly, both Saitama and Mosquito Girl were still there. She immediately launched a rapid series of attacks against Genos. He thought he was defeated, so Genos activated self-destruct. Suddenly, Saitama delivered a powerful slap, sending her flying into the wall, taking Genos by surprise. The next day, he visited Saitama's house to become his disciple. Even though Saitama didn't want to hear him speak, but Genos still shared his story with Saitama. 4 years ago, Genos' city was attacked by a mad cyborg. Fortunately, he was saved by Dr. Kuseno and transformed his body into a cyborg, so that he could become a true hero, until he witnessed Saitama's incredible power, and wanted to become Saitama's disciple to become strong like him. On the other side, the scientist had created Mosquito Girl. He knew about Saitama's strength, so he sent his subordinate to capture him. While Saitama was captured by a mole mouse and a lion man, Genos was also being hindered by a cyborg. The lion man saw that Saitama wasn't paying attention to him, which angered him, so he started cutting Saitama's hair continuously, but he was brought to an end by Saitama with a single punch. The mole mouse realized he had no chance and tried to escape. But Saitama quickly caught him. On Genos' side, he was pressuring the Gorilla Man for information, but the Gorilla Man was confident that a powerful Lion Man had his back. Saitama then said, "I've taken care of him." So, the Gorilla Man promptly spilled the beans, disclosing Dr. Genos's whereabouts to them. On Dr. Genos's side and his clones at this moment, they discovered that the strongest subordinates they had dispatched had all been defeated, causing them started to be worried. They were concerned that their lab developing genetic enhancements would be destroyed. So, Dr. Genos decided to release his most dangerous monster, causing the clones to panic. While Saitama and Genos had found the House of Evolution, their headquarters, so Genos quickly blow out the building. Suddenly, both of them found a basement floor. At this point, Dr. Genos had come to meet Kabuto, the most dangerous monster he had created. Even Dr. Genos couldn't control him. Dr. Genos asked Kabuto to capture Saitama for him. Kabuto immediately ran to Saitama's location, and promptly delivered a punch to Genos. At this point, he pulled up the challenge to Saitama in a nearby room. Suddenly, Genos ran to him, and launched a continuous attack. But unexpectedly, he was too powerful, easily defeated Genos, and also gave him a new hairstyle. Now it was Saitama's turn to go solo with him. When Kabuto was about to attack Saitama, he immediately felt terrified. At this point, he realized that Saitama was incredibly strong. So, he promptly asked Saitama, "Why are you so incredibly strong? Listen up. Here's the secret to my strength. Every day, 100 push-ups, 100 jumps, and a 10-kilometer run. And not using the air conditioner on hot days. Train like this every single day for 3 years. And when you lose all your hair, you'll become strong." This revelation shocked everyone because those exercises were considered quite normal. However, Kabuto was infuriated and began to unleash the full extent of his power. He relentlessly attacked Saitama in a frenzy. But at that moment, Saitama remembered something very important. Today is the special discount day at the supermarket. So, he immediately knocked Kabuto down and ran away with Genos, leaving Dr. Genos still in a state of bewilderment. The next day, a bunch of bald-headed gangsters went on a rampage in the city, destroying the house to demand payment, only to later discover they had the wrong address. Meanwhile, Saitama was at home watching TV. When he heard that a gang of bald-headed thugs was causing havoc in the city, Saitama immediately realized that his bald head resembled theirs, and he feared being mistaken as one of them. So Saitama decided to catch these troublemakers. On the bald gang side, they continued their rampage the town, because they had just acquired a set of armor that boosted their strength, so no one could stop them, and their target was a building with a golden shit. But they didn't expect that the owner of that building had hired Sonic, a dangerous ninja who can move at the speed of sound. Seeing his subordinates being taken out one by one, leaving the leader extremely terrified, he continuously tried to set a trap for Sonic, so he couldn't hide anymore. But Sonic unexpectedly kept charging forward, and defeated him from behind. When Sonic thought the mission was accomplished, the bald guy quickly ran away. Luckily, his skull was tough, so he survived. Suddenly, the bald guy encountered Saitama. He asked, "Do you want to join our gang?" "No, I'm a hero." Then he attacked him with all his might. Surprisingly, Saitama easily blocked his attacks and blew away his armor, instantly making him frightened and run away. At this moment, Sonic reappeared, because he mistakenly thought Saitama was also with the bald gang. So he attacked him, but Saitama easily blocked him again, leaving Sonic surprised. Although Saitama tried to explain to Sonic that baldness and shaved head is different, Sonic was now very excited, and kept moving at the speed of sound around Saitama. But to his surprise, he was still captured by Saitama, and hit Sonic's only weakness. This made Sonic extremely painful, and said that he will return for revenge against Saitama. Finally, Saitama had finished dealing with the bald gang, but by night, he realized, he had been a hero for 3 years and still wasn't famous. Even though he had defeated many monsters, Genos suggested that Saitama should join the Hero Association, and if Saitama passed the entrance exam, he would agree Genos to be his disciple. So the next morning, they both went to register together. Because Saitama appeared to be quite still, everyone laughed at him, but to everyone's surprise, Saitama easily aced all the physical fitness tests, making these guys turn pale. At this point, both of them had finished the tests. Genos was confident that Saitama would be ranked very high, because Genos himself was ranked as a Class S hero. But to their shock, Saitama was only ranked as a Class C hero, just one step away from failing. At this point, Genos remembered that in the final interview, they knew Genos was the one who destroyed the House of Evolution, so they made a special exception to promote Genos to a Class S hero. At this moment, both of them are being explained the rules of becoming a hero by a Class A hero. But they found that he was talking too much, so neither of them cared. This caused him into trigged. By the evening, when both of them were heading home, Saitama had become a hero, so he agreed to take Genos as his disciple. At this point, all he hoped for was that this guy wouldn't turn out to be gay. Suddenly, the Class A hero reappeared, wanting to solo with Saitama. He felt annoyed that the bald guy dared to underestimate him. As a result, he was immediately knocked out by Saitama. The next day, Genos challenged Saitama to a fight, to test Dr. Kusino's new technology, so Genos continuously attacked Saitama. However, he still couldn't make a single hair of Saitama fall. Seeing Saitama simply dodging, Genos suggested that Saitama should fight him seriously. But when Saitama started to get serious, all Genos saw in front of him was the word, death. It was at this moment that Genos realized that Saitama's power was on a completely different level. By evening, Genos had moved all of his belongings to Saitama's house. When Saitama refused, Genos immediately took out a stack of bills, causing him to change his mind. The next morning, Genos informed Saitama that, if a Class C hero didn't have a contribution score, they would be expelled from the Hero Association. This forced him to immediately get up and go on a mission. He ran all over the city, but couldn't find any monsters to defeat. Then suddenly, Sonic reappeared and challenged Saitama. In his anger, Saitama immediately bit and broke Sonic's sword. Suddenly, the citizens started accusing Saitama as being very suspicious, because they saw this bald guy running around the city like a crazy person. He immediately got teased by the hero Tanktop Tiger. Even Sonic found it ridiculous. So, Sonic immediately knocked him out, and taking the opportunity to wreak havoc in the city. This left the citizens in a state of fear. Suddenly, Saitama realized, he is the villain. On the side of the Hero Association, they received news of a Class C hero capturing a dangerous criminal. They immediately sent 2 Class A heroes to investigate. Suddenly, both of them encountered a tiger-level seaweed monster. Very quickly, he defeated Golden Ball, and consistently attacked Spring Mustachio. However, no matter how he attacked, Spring Mustachio still couldn't harm him, so he was quickly defeated. At this moment, Saitama was returning from the supermarket, suddenly remembered that he forgot to buy some seaweed. So that night, they had seaweed for dinner. When the hero reinforcements arrived, the sea monster had disappeared, leaving them confused. This turned City Z into a terrifying city. The next day, the Hero Association discovered that a massive meteorite was approaching Earth, and they summoned Genos to their headquarters. Suddenly, he encountered Bang, also known as Silver Fang, a Class S Rank 3 hero. He was surprised because this was a dragon-level threat disaster. In 35 minutes, it will crash straight into City Z. While everyone is running for their lives, Genos is still here, so Genos immediately left, to find a way to stop this disaster. When Genos was about to use Dr. Kusino's equipment to shoot it down, suddenly, an Iron Man appeared. Genos recognized him as Bofoy, the Metal Knight, a Class S Rank 7 hero. It's just his remote-controlled robot. He came here just to test his new weapon, so he didn't want to cooperate with Genos. Even though he used all his firepower, he still couldn't do anything to the meteorite, which made Genos worried. Suddenly, Bang also ran over and said, "If you're still young, don't think about failure." So he helped Genos regain his confidence. Then Genos used all his energy to shoot at the meteorite. But he still couldn't change anything. Thinking that everyone would die, suddenly, Saitama appeared. He immediately jumped up and punched straight into the meteorite, causing it to shatter into pieces. Bang was very surprised. Even though the entire city was devastated by the meteorite's strong fragments, Saitama's house remained safe in the end. The next day, Genos informed Saitama that his rank had been elevated from 17 to 16 in the S class, while Saitama's rank had moved from 342 to 5 in the C class. And he explained to Saitama, disasters are ranked as follows: Tiger, Demon, Dragon, and God. Upon realizing he had just been promoted, Saitama immediately went outside to see if he had any female fans yet, but unexpectedly, he was mocked by these 2 guys, because they thought Saitama only hanger on S-class heroes to rank up, and they blamed Saitama for destroying the city, making everyone angry and telling Saitama to quit being a hero. When they started to show off, Saitama took care of them, and said, "I don't give a damn about you guys. I became a hero just because I like it." At this time Saitama, ignoring all the public opinion, made Genos respect his teacher even more. The next day, a group of sea monsters suddenly appeared and invaded the mainland. So, this guy immediately ran to stop them. Despite being beaten up, the guy still managed to defeat them. While he was daydreaming about his unmatched strength, he was immediately defeated by Deep Sea King. At this point, the Hero Association announced that this was a demon-level disaster. So, many Class C heroes were run away. While Deep Sea King had already given a hard time to many Class A heroes, at this point, the Puri Puri prisoner and Sonic, who had just escaped from prison, then they accidentally encountered Deep Sea King. So, both of them began to engage in a fist fight. Seeing that he was very powerful, Puri Puri immediately started to get serious. He stripped off all his clothes and prepared to battle him. Although he kept attacking relentlessly, he still couldn't do anything to Deep Sea King. So, he was continuously punched by him. Then he aimed for Sonic, but his speed was very fast, so he couldn't catch Sonic. Unexpectedly, due to the rain, his speed began to increase. He began to catch up to Sonic. On Genos and Saitama's side, they split up to find the monster. Suddenly, Saitama accidentally ran into Moomin Rider, a Class C hero. So, he decided to take Saitama along with him. On Sonic's side, he realized the situation was not favorable, so he immediately fled. At this point, the Sea King had found the shelter of the people, and he attacked there, causing everyone to be terrified. While Saitama was accompanying Moomin Rider, he noticed someone streaking by naked, so he decided to go ahead and check it out. But when he turned back, Moomin Rider had already left, leaving only a cell phone. Thanks to that, Saitama learned the whereabouts of Deep Sea King. At this moment, as Deep Sea King defeated all the heroes here, Genos finally appeared, and immediately launched a powerful attack at him. Thinking he had defeated him, this made everyone very happy, but he quickly returned and twisted Genos' arm. Genos continued to attack Deep Sea King, despite using all his firepower, but still couldn't defeat him. Suddenly, Deep Sea King attacked a young girl, so Genos rushed to her rescue, but he couldn't fight anymore, and he was punched out by him. When he was about to finish off Genos, Moomin Rider rushed in. At this point, even though he knew he was weak, he was determined to stop him, which made him angry. When cheered on by the people, his imaginary strength increased, and he was immediately knocked out by Deep Sea King. Unexpectedly, Saitama arrived, which made him very curious. Who's this bald guy? Seeing that Saitama could withstand one of his punches, he immediately started to get serious, but Saitama only knocked him out with one punch. While everyone was celebrating, suddenly, a dissenting guy spoke up. Saitama simply relied on other heroes, because they weakened Deep Sea King. That's why Saitama won, and criticizing all the heroes who had fought hard. This led Saitama to admit that he only hung over on others, to protect the efforts of the heroes who had been defeated. This made everyone begin to doubt Saitama. But only Genos knew the truth and admired Saitama even more. When Saitama returned home, he received a lot of trash mail from anti-fans. But unexpectedly, there was still someone who thanked Saitama. On the side of the Hero Association, they decided to promote him to Class B, but Saitama remained at the bottom rank. Because they still doubted Saitama's strength was fake. In the evening, by chance, Saitama encountered Moomin Rider again, and realized that he was the one who had sent him a thank you letter. On another front, the ancient king was planning to invade Earth. So a girl, not wearing underwear, rushed in to defeat him. When he was about to ask why she wasn't wearing underwear, unexpectedly, the girl controlled a meteorite to fall, causing his extinction. The next day, Bang invited Saitama and Genos to his martial arts dojo, to introduce both of them to his martial art style, the Water Stream Rock Smashing Fist. Seeing that both of them weren't interested, it made the young man angry, and he was promptly dealt with by Genos. When both of them thought that his dojo must have very strong disciples, Bang recounted that he once had a very powerful disciple, named Garo. But because he became too crazy, he was beaten and expelled from the dojo by Bang. Suddenly, the Hero Association staff ran in to announce the summoning of all Class S heroes back to the headquarters. So Saitama, out of boredom, decided to follow along. Upon arriving, Saitama encountered Atomic Samurai, and the girl without underwear mocked him, because she found Saitama too weak. At this point, Genos informed Saitama. This girl is Tatsumaki, the Tornado of Terror, rank 2 in Class S. But unexpectedly, Saitama don't give any attention on her. Now, all Class S heroes had gathered. While everyone looked cool, handsome, tall, and muscular, Saitama was the only Class B hero, rank 63. At this point, The association announced to everyone, Madame Shibabawa had died, because she had predicted a coming catastrophe of God level, which would endanger the Earth. Suddenly, in the sky, a massive spaceship appeared, and obliterated City A in an instant, leaving the Hero Association stunned. Everyone began to take action. Saitama went straight into the spaceship. Below, there was a monster gatekeeper. When Atomic Samurai rushed to save his disciple, he realized that this monster is immortal. Silver Fang, Metal Bat, and Puri Puri Prisoner also came to help him. The rest were concerned above. Saitama infiltrated the ship, and continuously destroyed many monsters inside. At this moment inside the control room, the creature resembling an octopus informed its leader. There was a guy causing trouble going alone and destroying nearly half of the ship alone. So, he ordered Jerry Uganshoop to continue obstructing the bald guy. On the hero's side, they were still battling the gatekeeper Mazagrard. Despite their combined efforts, he could regenerate. However, when Jerry Uganshoop announced that there was an intruder in the spaceship, and ordered Mazagrard to return to the ship, he was very surprised. But Mazagrard was being held back by the heroes, and they had even discovered his weakness, the green marble inside his head, so he couldn't return. Jerry Uganshoop decided to use the large cannonballs to shoot down all the heroes below. Just when they thought they were about to defeat him, unexpectedly, the cannonballs were fired. Suddenly, Tatsumaki appeared. She immediately used her psychic powers to control the cannonballs and shot them back at the spaceship, making Mazagrard furious. But the team worked well together, and they continued their attack, reducing him to just one head. Unexpectedly, Bang was knocked away. He decided to quickly deal with all of them. While Saitama had already found the control room, Jerry Uganshoop decided to use his psychic powers to attack Saitama. Surprisingly, he stood there completely unharmed, so he was swiftly defeated by Saitama, in a nearby room at that time. While the boss was still waiting here, Saitama had also arrived. Because he knew Saitama is the strongest being on this planet, he introduced himself as Boros, the ruler of the universe, and he told Saitama that he's been so strong that he's traveled across the universe but still hasn't found a worthy opponent. Then, a prophet told him that if he came here, he would find a satisfying challenger. So, he challenged Saitama, but he was immediately sent flying by Saitama. Unexpectedly, Saitama destroyed his power-sealing armor, so he transformed and went all out against Saitama, continuously attacking him. But unexpectedly, Boros lost one arm. Outside, Tatsumaki continued her assault on the spaceship, making the extraterrestrial beings terrified. At this point, Genos knew Saitama was inside the spaceship, so he was relieved. Suddenly, Rank 9 Machine Knight arrived and informed Genos that the Metal Knight was the one who had destroyed his hometown. On the other side, Melzergard was feeling quite confident. However, Bang was still alive, and they continued to cooperate, and finally, they defeated Melzergard, so they emerged victorious. At this moment, Saitama was engaged in a fierce battle with Boros, even fighting on top of the spaceship. But he couldn't even make a single hair fall from Saitama. However, Boro remained confident in his own strength and regenerative abilities. He then unleashed his true power, launching a relentless assault on Saitama, even sending him flying to the moon. When he thought he had won, surprisingly, Saitama immediately returned. Boros was surprised, so he continued dash forward. Saitama retaliated this time, even surviving Saitama's consecutive normal punches, which made him very excited. Boro then used Goku's Kamehameha attack against Saitama. So, Saitama used his serious punch as a counterattack against him. In the end, Boro was defeated. However, he realized that Saitama had not used his full power yet. The battle had been entirely one-sided from the beginning. As a result, the spaceship began to fall, terrifying both the heroes and monsters. Suddenly, the Sweet Mask and the Metal Knight unit arrived at the scene. While Metal Knight collects alien technology, it greatly annoys Genos, and Sweet Mask mocks the Class S heroes for letting the entire city be destroyed, so he proceeds to eliminate all the alien monsters to prove his justice. Suddenly, Saitama also steps out, surprising Tatsumaki, but she is ignored again, which infuriates her. She then takes care of Genos, with Bang intervening to stop her, so Tatsumaki eventually leaves. At this point, while Saitama was buying hair growth medicine with Genos, they accidentally bumped into King, a Class S Rank 7 hero, famously known as the strongest man on Earth. He is dealing with a troublesome robot. At this point, the robot has challenged King to a duel, making everyone hear his heartbeat, thinking King had entered battle mode. But unexpected, King said he needed to use the restroom, so, the robot has to wait for King to return. While King is scared in the restroom, as he was just a gaming addict, he doesn't know anything about fighting. King had only coincidentally appeared in times when Saitama defeated monsters. So the Hero Association assumed that King had defeated them and quickly promoted him to the top ranks. So he quickly runs home. Meanwhile, Genos is battling the robot. At this moment, King had just started up his newly purchased video game. Suddenly, Saitama appeared, saying he wanted to play a game with King, immediately surprising him, as he realized Saitama was just a Class B hero and wasn't afraid of him. At this point, Saitama noticed that King was skilled at gaming, and thought that King might be strong like him, so he was bored of fighting. Suddenly, a giant bird came flying at them, but Saitama easily stopped it. While King was blaming his bad luck for always attracting monsters, he admitted to Saitama that he was incredibly weak. So, Saitama defeated the giant bird, and King realized that Saitama was the one who had always been there to save him. Meanwhile, Genos thought he had defeated the robot. Surprisingly, he realized that the small robot inside was the mastermind. In the end, Genos still take him down. At this point, King confessed to Saitama that he had been lying and taking credit for his achievements, just because of the Hero Association's salary. But unexpected, Saitama wasn't angry at all. He even said he'd come over for more gaming next time. As for Genos, he brought the robot back to Dr. Kuseno, to upgrade him and make him stronger. Meanwhile, at the Hero Association, with the increasing number of monsters appearing, and not enough heroes to combat them, they resorted to gathering dangerous criminals to fight the monster horde. Suddenly, Garo stepped forward, claiming to be on the side of the monsters, and challenged everyone present. So, the 3 Class A heroes stepped up. However, Garo easily defeated all 3 Class A heroes and the criminals present, leaving this guy in shock. While Saitama had just obtained King's gaming console, he started training in gaming. Suddenly, Genos encountered Sonic, knowing that Sonic intended to bother his master, so Genos decided to take on Sonic alone. As for Saitama, he encountered Fubuki, a Class B rank 1 hero. She forced Saitama to work for her. When he declined, these 2 guys attacked him, so Saitama dealt with them effortlessly. This made Fubuki furious, and she unleashed her psychic powers on Saitama. However, no matter how much she attacked, she couldn't make a single hair fall off Saitama. Suddenly, Genos and Sonic created an explosion, so Saitama protected Fubuki. Fubuki in this moment, upon learning that Genos was Saitama's disciple, she was surprised. Genos and Sonic continued their fight. Genos moved at a very fast speed and cut Sonic's hair. Sonic then used a new technique to attack Genos. When Genos was about to destroy everything, Saitama stopped him, and stepped to deal with Sonic. As Sonic created many afterimages to attack Saitama, Saitama effortlessly created a series of afterimages, shocking Sonic and causing him to fall to the ground. Fubuki sensed Saitama's immense strength, so she told both of them about her, because she wanted to surpass her older sister Tatsumaki. But Fubuki was too weak to compete for the top spot in Class A against Sweet Mask, so she formed her own group to climb the ranks. When Fubuki thought Saitama couldn't possibly beat King, but unexpected King came to Saitama's house to take his game console back. That was shocked her. She couldn't believe that a Class B hero would be friends with a Class S hero. Meanwhile, Garo this moment, he was going around taking down any hero he encountered. On Bang's side, he expelled Shiranko from the dojo, because he was too weak. So, Shiranko sought out Saitama and Genos, explaining that his master had been acting strangely. He also noticed that Saitama's home was becoming more crowded. Genos informed Shiranko that Bang had taken on a mission to capture Garo, his former disciple, because he didn't want Shiranko to get involved. Bang decided to dismiss him. Saitama, feeling down after being nicknamed Caped Baldy by the Hero Association. When Shiranko left, he unexpectedly encountered Garo. He was battling Tanktop Master, Class S rank 16. Although Tanktop Master gave his all to take down Garo, he realized that Garo was not human, so he decided to end him. But Garo retaliated with his Water Stream Rock Smashing Fist technique, shattering Tanktop Master's nose, defeating him, and simultaneously defeated Moomin Rider and other heroes, which frightened Shiranko. But he still go forward. Bang is currently with his younger brother, whose name is Bomb. They have decided to search for Garo, but in the morning, they discovered that Shiranko was severely injured. At this point, Saitama brought a bunch of bananas to the hospital to cheer up Moomin Rider. Here, he accidentally met Tank Top Master and learned that Garo is very dangerous. Not only is he very strong, but he also knows martial arts. So, Saitama went to visit Shiranko to learn more about martial arts. Shiranko then gave Saitama a ticket to participate in the martial arts tournament in his place. When Saitama learned that the winner would receive 3 million yen, he immediately decided to disguise himself as Shiranko and compete. Meanwhile, Garo, he is talking with a young boy who is a hardcore fan of heroes. To investigate further information about the heroes, Garo came to Golden Ball. Despite continuous attacks, Garo easily blocked them all. Suddenly, Spring Mustache also appeared and attacked Garo. But in the end, both of them ended up in the hospital. At this point, when Garo was looking for a different target, he unexpectedly encountered Saitama. Thinking that the bald guy was there to arrest him, he quickly launched an attack on Saitama. However, he was knocked out by Saitama with a single blow. It turns out Saitama thought this guy wanted to buy a wig from him. While unconscious, Garo dreamed about his childhood, when he was a hardcore fan of monsters, and couldn't understand why heroes always won. So, Garo decided to become the strongest monster. But when Garo regained his composure, he found himself lying amidst a pile of garbage. At this moment, Metal Bat was on a mission to protect these father and son, who were high-ranking advisors to the Hero Association. Suddenly, a horde of centipede monsters appeared and captured the kid. As Metal Bat took down the creatures, a larger centipede appeared, relentlessly attacked him. Suddenly, Metal Bat was hit by a paralyzing venom, causing him been attacked. To snap out of it, he resorted to hitting himself on the head. In his enraged state, Metal Bat defeated the centipede horde. But unexpectedly, the Elder Centipede has appeared. He was considered a dragon-level threat by the Hero Association. The Elder Centipede attacked Metal Bat. However, Metal Bat still charged back, attacking the Elder Centipede. Surprisingly, Metal Bat was knocked over to Garo's location. When Metal Bat was about to continue standing, he was suddenly attacked by Garo. At that moment, Metal Bat realized that he was the hero hunter. Meanwhile, Saitama was having a small conversation with Tempo, the former disciple of Bang. He thought Saitama was Shiranko, so he informed him, because last year, Garo had disguised himself as another to win the martial arts tournament championship. So this time, the martial arts tournament strictly prohibits disguises, or else they would be deprived of the right to compete and fined. This made Saitama break into a cold sweat. And this guy also hates Garo because he once beat him up and sent him to the hospital. On the side of the Hero Association, they were trying to summon Class S heroes to stop Elder Centipede. Suddenly, they discovered that many demon-level monsters had simultaneously appeared. Meanwhile, Garo was beating Metal Bat by his martial arts skills. However, Garo realized that the angrier Metal Bat became, the stronger he grew. Suddenly, Metal Bat's little sister appeared, stepping in to stop the fight between the two. Garo had no choice but to leave. Unexpectedly, as soon as Garo departed, Metal Bat collapsed. When the monsters were about to attack him, Garo returned to protect Metal Bat, because he hated who's attacked others from behind. Suddenly, the monsters invited Garo to join their monster association, but Garo declined their offer, so the monsters left. At this point, they had taken a valuable hostage of the Hero Association. So, Elder Centipede had retreated, while Bang and Bomb were still searching for Garo, and taking down numerous monsters within the city. On Saitama's side, the martial arts tournament was about to begin, so he began to meet his opponents, who were all martial artists and powerful fighters. But there are two individuals who were considered top contenders for the championship this time, that is Bikuzen and Suiryu. Suddenly, a young man taunted Saitama, and he was immediately criticized by Saitama for being weak, making him furious. However, when the young man stepped into the arena, Saitama lightly flicked him, causing the young man to faint. This made the audience conclude that the young man was indeed weak. Suiryu, on the other hand, began to notice Saitama. When Suiryu entered the arena, he effortlessly defeated a Class A hero with a single move. Leaving the arena in awe, Genos know that Saitama only come here because he curious about martial art, so he think that Suiryu can satisfy his master. Suddenly, Genos received news. The Monster Association was attacking the city, so he left. At this moment, the entire city was under siege by many demon-level monsters, so Fubuki also appeared to stop them. Meanwhile, Genos continued to defeat many monsters quickly, to return and continue watch Saitama's fight. At the same time, Saitama faced Bikuzen, who had won the martial arts tournament twice. when he was thinking about how to torment Saitama, but he was instantly punched, causing the entire arena to freeze in shock. On the other hand, Genos was in a battle with a cockroach-like monster, but in the end, he was defeated by Genos. Suddenly, another powerful monster appeared and defeated Genos. On Fubuki's side this time, she is being attacked by Monster Princess and has taken control of Fubuki's subordinates. Monster Princess continuously attacked her back, but when she mentioned Tatsumaki, it made Fubuki angry and she fought back. Suddenly, Tatsumaki arrived, causing her to be terrified and flee. Tatsumaki then instructed Fubuki to return home. While Saitama was using the toilet, Suiryu consecutively defeated several Class A heroes. The city was still under attack by a horde of monsters. On the Monster Association's side, Lord Orochi, they was planning to counter the Hero Association. So many Class S heroes appeared to stop the monsters. Pig God and the Child Emperor battled a serpent monster. While Flash and the Class A heroes were finishing off a monster, Tatsumaki easily crushed it into a meatball, scolded the lazy ones for not doing their job. Meanwhile, Atomic Samurai was in a meeting with the Council of Swordmasters. Suddenly, one of them took out a monster cell. He claimed that the monster cells could make them stronger and turn them into monsters. This left the group thinking that he was out of his mind. When he transformed into a monster and was about to deal with them, Atomic Samurai swiftly finished him off. Saitama, who had just finished in the bathroom, continued to defeat his opponent with a single punch, and entered the final round to fight Suiryu. Suiryu kept mocking Saitama. He knew Saitama came there to learn martial arts, but in reality, Saitama's true purpose was for the money. Suiryu stated that he would help Saitama learn martial arts, but in return, Saitama had to make him happy, so Suiryu continuously attacked Saitama, while Saitama tried to hold onto his wig to prevent it from falling off. When Suiryu mocked the heroes, saying they were just a facade because they were too weak, it stirred Saitama's professional ethics. He doesn't bother keeping his wig anymore, and gets serious with Suiryu. So Saitama was immediately spotted and disqualified from the match. However, Suiryu continued to attack Saitama, realizing that Saitama was indeed very strong, but no matter how much he attacked, he couldn't even make one strand of Saitama's hair fall off. Suddenly, Saitama realized, martial arts were all about looking cool with style. It made Suiryu angry, so he rushed over. But Saitama gently shook his buttocks and sent him flying into the stands. When he was discovered, Saitama immediately ran away, while Suiryu was still shocked about his defeat. At this moment, as Suiryu was receiving his prize, a very powerful monster named Guketsu suddenly appeared, threatening to turn everyone into monsters. Anyone who resisted would be devoured. It was then that everyone realized that Guketsu had once been the champion of tournament. However, he wanted to become even stronger, so he decided to transform into a monster. At this point, he threw the monster cells in front of the fighters, and if anyone refused to consume them, he would kill them. As a result, many young people ended up consuming the cells and transforming into monsters. As for Suiryu, he's inviting this girl out on a date. While Suiryu was asking this girl out for a date, if after he defeats all of them, so Suiryu started to fight with them, even though they are very strong, but they've been defeated quickly. Recognizing Suiryu's strength, Guketsu proposed that he join the Monster Association. Suiryu declined the offer and continued to attack Guketsu. Unexpected, he received a powerful blow from Guketsu. At that moment, Suiryu realized that he was too strong. When he was on the verge of being captured to become food for Guketsu's birds, Suiryu discovered Bikuzan was still around. He sought him help, but Bikuzan decided to turn monster. When Bikuzan thought he had gained enough power, his transform has been failed. Suddenly, the heroes appeared to rescue Suiryu, which surprised him. So, all three of them teamed up to defeat the birds. At this point, Suiryu realized they couldn't stay here any longer. Max and Snek decided to stay and hold off Guketsu, leaving Suiryu helpless as he ran away. Unexpectedly, Bikuzan had successfully evolved and captured Suiryu. On the other side, Garo was soloing against the Watchdog Man, but was getting beaten up badly. At this moment, Guketsu recognized that Bikuzan was also a dragon-level threat like himself, but he saw Bikuzan delusional himself about his own strength. So, Guketsu made him see that they were not on the same level. When Guketsu left, he continued to torture Suiryu, making Suiryu very scared. He immediately despaired, hoping for a hero to come to his rescue. When he was about to finish off Suiryu, Saitama appeared, leaving Suiryu astonished. Bikuzan quickly recognized Saitama as the one who had defeated him earlier. he launched a series of attacks on him, while Saitama still hadn't recognized who this guy was. However, Saitama swiftly retaliated with a single punch, leaving Suiryu astonished. At that moment, Suiryu realized that Saitama was a hero, so he proceeded to explain everything to Saitama, including the existence of a dangerous monster named Guketsu. Genos had also been defeated by Guketsu in a single strike, so he intended to return and gather all the S-class heroes, including Saitama, to defeat Guketsu. At this moment, Saitama became aware that there was a very powerful monster outside. He decided to go and take down that monster. So, Suiryu tried to stop Saitama, because he didn't want his benefactor to face danger. However, Saitama remained determined to go. When it seemed like Saitama about to end, Guketsu was swiftly defeated. This caught Suiryu by extreme surprise. When he learned that Saitama had defeated Guketsu with just one punch, Suiryu asked, "Can I become your disciple?" "No thank." As Saitama was wandering around the city, he encountered King. So King invited Saitama to his house to play games, and he will only use 2 fingers to play games with Saitama. Saitama quickly accepted him. Meanwhile, Garo had just been through a tough battle with the Watchdog Man, and had learned a new move. He unintentionally ran into King, and immediately attacked him. But Saitama swiftly kicked Garo into a wall. Meanwhile, Sonic this time, he had encountered 2 ninja comrades from his village. They asked Sonic to join the Monster Association with them, and offered him Monster Cell. At this point, Sonic wanted to gain the strength to defeat Saitama, so he decided to consume the cells. However, as he couldn't consume them raw, he tried cooking them. This resulted in him suffering from diarrhea for 3 days, while Saitama was continuously being defeated by King in the game, making Saitama irritated. On the Hero Association side, they are worried because the consultant's son has been captured. The Monster Association sends a declaration of war to the Hero Association, giving them a 3-day ultimatum. On the Monster Association side, they have gathered many new monsters. Preparation for the impending battle. Genos has been upgraded by Dr. Kuseno, and he is eager to test his new powers. On the other hand, Saitama has noticed that there are a lot of monsters appearing today. Suddenly, a group of children discovers that Garo has been injured in their hideout, so the whole group decides to send a kid to check on him. The Class A heroes also discover Garo location. While Garo is showing the kid how to avoid being bullied, he noticed that he was being surrounded, so he borrowed the kid's hero magazine to investigate the information. Garo stepped out alone to fight with them. The heroes continued to attack Garo relentlessly. Even though he was injured, Garo was agile and managed to evade the heroes' attacks. However, as they kept pressuring him, Garo began to counterattack, and took down one hero after another. Death Gatling continuously fired his bullets at him, causing him to charge at a young man wearing glasses, so Death Gatling cannot shoot him anymore. It turns out that the young man was a member of Fubuki's group, but he was considered weak, and no one respected him. However, Saitama had saved him at that point, which inspired him to train rigorously to become as strong as Saitama. But in reality, he still got knocked out by Garo. Even Stinger was easily defeated by Garo. When Death Gatling was about to attack Garo, he mentioned that there was a child behind him, but Death Gatling didn't believe him and still attacked Garo. So, Garo used his hand to catch all the bullets, to protect the kid. In the end, Death Gatling was also defeated by Garo. However, as the kid saw Garo had taken down all the heroes, he became scared and ran away. Garo was exhausted by this time. Unexpectedly, Genos appeared with a very cool style. Garo had to continue the fight once more. Genos proved to be extremely powerful, forcing Garo to take the battle seriously. On Saitama's side, he continues to lose to King in the game, which left him frustrated. Saitama realized that he had been playing the game for too long. He began to worry about his disciple. Saitama decided it was time to find Genos. At this point, Garo had figured out the Watchdog's movement pattern, and surprise attack on Genos. Genos managed to catch him. When Genos was determined to defeat Garo, Garo then kicked and broke the tree trunk to escape. At this point, Garo smeared his own blood on his head to make himself resemble a monster. Suddenly, a group of monsters appeared, intending to take Garo away, but Genos immediately intervened. When Genos was about to finish off Garo, Bang appeared, to settle the matter with his disciple. In his childhood, Garo had a deep fondness for monsters, which often led to him being bullied by his friends, and made him play the role of a monster in their hero games. This prompted Garo to seek out Bang's dojo. At this point, both of them began to battle each other, but Bang completely dominated Garo, and continuously delivered blows to him. When Garo attempted to use the heroes as a shield, he was knocked away by Bomb. Subsequently, both of them teamed up to attack Garo together. Garo realized that facing all three of them was impossible, but he refused to give up. He unleashed a powerful strike into the ground to prevent the two old men. Suddenly, a monstrous bird-like creature appeared and saved Garo. When Genos was about to attack him, Elder Centipede also appeared to block Genos, and destroyed everything around, so all three of them joined forces to rescue the defeated heroes. The bird then informed Garo that only 4 heroes could contend with the Elder Centipede, and they were Tatsumaki, Metal Knight, King and Blast, the one who had come close to defeating the Elder Centipede before. At this point, all three of them collaborated to stop the Elder Centipede. Despite Bang and Bomb using their most powerful techniques, unexpectedly, the Elder Centipede has shed its skin, becoming even stronger than before. Bang and Bomb realized they were no match for him, but Genos refused to give up and kept on attacking. Unexpectedly, the Elder Centipede was caught him and cut in half. At this point, Genos immediately reassembled his body and unleashed all of his firepower, diving into Elder Centipede body to burn him from within. However, he also ran out of energy. Genos thought he had defeated the Elder Centipede. Unexpectedly, the Elder Centipede still remained unharmed. So Genos realized that he was too weak. While Bang was about to engage in a fierce battle with him, suddenly, King called the Elder Centipede back towards him. The young man was terrified. The Elder Centipede rushed forward to attack King. That's when Saitama appeared and delivered a punch, made him felt very comfortable, for release the stress for losing the game with King. Suddenly, when Genos asked Saitama what he lacked, Saitama simply answered with strength. So, Genos has helped him understand something. As for Garo, he was still being taken back to the Monster Association. That's where today's video ends. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to support Oni-chan in the upcoming videos. Thank you for watching. Love you all.